Welcome to Pedals and Stuff, and today we're going to talk about places to put your boost pedal in your signal chain. Now, two main places are reasonably clear, so we're going to put it before our dirt pedals and then we're going to try it after our dirt pedals and see what difference that makes. And then the final place we're going to try is actually in the effects loop of our amplifier. Now, these will give us slightly different results, and there's no right or wrong place to put them. It just depends what you're after, so it's useful to understand what will happen when you put it into these different places. So let's start with putting a boost pedal in front of a dirt pedal. Alright, so we've got the Beano Boost in front of the Friedman BEOD here, and what we'd expect to happen is, because we've already got some drive going on obviously in the dirt pedal, we expect that extra volume boost to push the front end of that pedal harder and to give us more saturation. So let's find out what happens. This is just the amp, no pedals on at the moment. So you can hear it's set clean and loads of headroom, so there's plenty of room for increased volume as we go through this little test. Okay, the Friedman on. And then if we put the boost pedal into that, right, so you can hear how much more that saturates. So back to just the Friedman. And then the boost in front of it again. You can hear how that's almost feeding back as soon as I stop playing there. So there's much more saturation, but not a massive volume increase. And that's kind of the point. So let's look at the second place we can put the boost pedal. So no changes here, apart from the fact I've just put the boost pedal after the dirt. So now what we're going to expect to happen is that the front end of that dirt pedal's no longer going to get pushed harder by the boost, but what's going to happen is that after the dirt pedal, the boost is going to lift that signal as it goes into the amp. Now, because I've set it with loads of clean headroom, it should just mean that we get much more volume. Alright, well, depending where we set the boost, but we're going to get more volume rather than more saturation from the dirt pedal. So let's just have a little look. So just the amp. Alright, back to the Friedman pedal as well. Okay, now when we put the boost pedal on, let's just see how the volume changes. And off. And back on. So you can hear that that is a big volume change there. Now you'll also notice the trebles increase. That's because the booster I'm using is a Beano Boost. So the Beano Boost is a treble booster. It's not a pure booster. So it is going to colour the tone as well. And that's another interesting factor that you can use. So depending on the type of boost pedal you're going to use, you can really affect the tone as well. That's not really what we're looking at here. I'm just looking at positions we can put it in to change how we can use a boost pedal. They're much more versatile than you might think. Right, so just the Friedman again. Just the Friedman. So you can see by putting the boost pedal after the dirt pedal, completely different result. Bigger tone change as well, isn't there? With it in front of the dirt pedal, there's a slight treble increase, definite saturation increase. But after the dirt pedal, there's much more of the character of the boost pedal, the treble boost coming through there as well. So really interesting how it can change the characteristic too. But massive volume increase. So the third place we're going to look at is putting the boost pedal through the effects loop of the amplifier. We'd expect this to have the same or a similar result as to having it after the dirt pedal, but it depends on the headroom of your amp, because if it goes in the front end after the dirt pedal, then there's a chance that it's going to push the preamp of your amp and give you more saturation anyway. Going in through the effects loop bypasses that preamp, so you're less likely to get that preamp distortion. Alright, as I've said, I've got this amp, the Studio Pro, set with loads of clean headroom, so we don't get extra preamp distortion, we get much more volume. Alright, let's see what happens if we go through the effects loop. Right, the Beano Boost pedal is now going through the effects loop of the amp, so nothing else has changed at all, no settings. So let's do just the amp again. So really clean. The Friedman dirt pedal. Such a good pedal, that is just beautiful. Right, now let's see what happens when we engage that Beano Boost in the effects loop. And off. Back on. So interesting, because obviously big volume boost, expecting that. However, the characteristic of that treble booster is not coming through as much, it's not affecting the tone as much as when it was after the dirt pedal. After the dirt pedal, you could hear all that treble being boosted. In the effects loop, not at all. It keeps much more of the character of the overdrive. It keeps the character of what's coming in that front end much better and just gives us a volume boost. Now that is interesting, because that really could affect where you choose to put it. Very, very cool. Alright, let's just have a little listen to them back to back. And then the boost in front of it again. Back on. Back on. Very interesting. So what we can see from that is the boost before the drive pushes that drive pedal harder. changes the character a little bit depending on the boost you're using. Certainly does a little bit with the treble booster as we'd expect. Booster after the drive pedal, much more volume increase, not really a saturation or a gain increase. However, really affected with this treble booster, really affected the tone of the pedal, right? But going through the effects loop, a similar effect in that we get our extra boost of volume that we might want for our solo, for example, but doesn't affect the tone anywhere near so much. I keep saying it, very interesting. All right, I hope that's useful. I've now got to work out where I'm going to put mine on the board. I might need to get more than one boost pedal. Maybe that is the answer. All right, take care. Remember to like and subscribe and look after yourselves. All right, this is Pedals and Stuff. See you soon.